Good morning, everybody. It is Friday, September 5th. My name is Karen, and this is BobbleHeadKnits. So welcome, everybody. First off the bat, let me just apologize if there's a bunch of background noise. Not enough coffee yet. The utility company, it has about 20 cars in front of my house, or trucks, and a backhoe, and they're getting ready to dig up my street. So I'm trying to sneak this in before they create a bunch of noise. But yeah, that's what's going on. Dogs might go nuts, all the things. But let's see what I can get done. And if I need to either re-record or pause this, I will. But I'm hoping that I can get this recorded and upload it today. All right, let's go. You can hear my dogs. They're responding to I don't know what, because we've closed all the windows so they can't see out to see anything. They must just hear the noise. So there we are. Okay, let's get on with things. Let's talk first finished objects. I have two. I have the very inappropriate, or appropriate in some cases, dish towel, another one. This is dish towel number 4. They're coming along nicely. I have finished all my yarn dyeing because, you know, I'll go into that in a bit, but yeah, I finished all my yarn dyeing, so now I just need to knit all of these. I need about 12, so let's hope I get it done. This is a pattern by Dana Rachel, and it's a free pattern on Ravelry, and you probably can't see what it says, but yeah. All right. Moving right along, I have these vanilla socks. Hang on, let me get my notes here because I'm right now totally winging it. These are vanilla socks that I knit. I started these, well, they weren't meant to have a German short row heel, but I ended up doing that, and they also are top down. They are 52 stitches, I believe. These are a gift for my sister. There's a little hole there I need to fix. So I'll be doing some surgery. Here, this one looks better. There it is. I have 2, see? All right, they are knit top down. The self-striping yarn is Night Owl Fibers Pineapple Shake Up. And then the white yarn is Cascade Heritage Snow. And yeah, they don't fit me, but they should fit my sister, whose foot is a little smaller than mine. So there you go. Here, I'll just cover up yeah, you get what I'm doing. All right, there they are. All right. Yeah, so finished those. Those used up, well, it's hard to say how much those used up because that was a ball or skein of yarn that I had a huge tangled mess on half of the skein, and so I'm just saying they used half of the skein. They probably used less than that, and yeah, it took me about a month. I'm a slow knitter, and you know, got things going on that I can't always knit as fast as I'd like. So yes. All right, let me set these out of the way. There they are. All right, next up we have well, okay, we'll start. I have many things. I overheard my husband saying to his mom the other day that I am knitting 100 different things. Close, but no. All right, this is my birdie cow, and it is a pattern by, let's see, Tracy Cox. And I can't remember if this was a free pattern or not. It was Christmas in July cast on, and this is where I'm at. And I can't remember also if I actually moved the marker. So we're gonna say I did, but there we are on it. It's brioche, so it is slow going, but it's getting there. And I'm knitting it in Madeline Tosh and Madeline Tosh DK. This is the color Geranium and Beta. So those two beautiful colors. It's turning out beautifully. I'm really happy with it. Got a few little just little issues here and there, but nothing huge. And it's growing ever so slowly. All right. Hang on. I'll put that back in. All right, next up, I have been knitting on my daughter-in-law's sweater cardigan. This is the Snowbird cardigan, and it's by Heidi Kiermar. This is not a Christmas in July cast on, but it is a Christmas gift for my daughter-in-law. It's kind of hard to show you right now. Well, one, because it's on 2 different needles, and 2, a lot of string attached here and there. And I'm in the middle of a row. Even better. Can I get to the end of the row? Yes, I'll just sit here and chat with you while I get to the end of the row. But I'm very close, so I will finish it so I can show you. I've started on one of the sleeves. This pattern is knit, the whole thing is meant to be knit flat, but not, what am I trying to say? The sleeves are knit flat and then seamed up, and it's just a very different pattern. I've never done sleeves flat, so yeah, I'm just totally trusting in the process and hoping that the pattern is correct and that I'm doing everything right. I'm almost done, don't worry. I don't like to trust in the process, but I'm trying it. So far it's looking okay. Hang on. I did mess up one sleeve. I mentioned this last week. I did not have enough stitches, so I improvised and added a bunch more, and I'm hoping that it will fit okay, and I'm gonna have my daughter-in-law try it on as soon as I'm done. I'll like stitch up the sleeve soon and have her try it on just to make sure it fits. Okay, here, I'm at the end of the row now, so slightly better in showing you. This is the back. This is the back. And then you'll see over here, I've started knitting down on the sleeve, and it's, the purl side is the outside, is the right side. So it is a bit of a different pattern that way. I am not the best sewist, stitcher, so I really am gonna take my time stitching up the sleeve once I get it totally done and make sure I do it nicely. So yes, trusting in the process. So yeah, I can't really show it to you because it's just attached to too much. All right, the yarn is Malabrigo Rios. Blah. It's a worsted weight yarn, and the color is Scorpio. It's a really dark navy with a bunch of like some reds, some browns, some purples. It's gorgeous. So, all right, my daughter-in-law does know that she may not get this by Christmas, but she understands that. She's fine with it. My gauge was dead on. I should be okay as far as that. I have all the yarn for it now, which gets us into acquisitions, which I'll talk about next. Or not next, because I still have things to show you. All right. All right. Let's talk about, this is my Beetlejuice sock. I only have one, and I am in the middle of a row, but I'm not going to finish it for you. There it is. The toe is from Kay Jones of the Bakery Bear, and I'm going to just set it like that so you'll get an idea. This is actually the heel, and so I guess it goes more like that, but then you can't see the heel. Just, yeah, you know what I mean. All right, this yarn is just lovely. I love this yarn. And it is the Beetlejuice sock yarn from Beach Bum Yarn in Florida. And yeah, it's just a beautiful, beautiful yarn. And I don't know which I like better, the purple, the black and white, or the neon green. So I am doing toe up. These are for me. I am following a heel pattern that I got for a heel flap and gusset. And it's, again, trusting in the process because I don't know if it's gonna be right. So I only have the one so far, but it's coming along. All right, when you do toe up, you have to do increases. Like you have to do the gusset first, and you do all these increases very backwards from what I've been doing, so it's taking me a little bit longer, not to mention I'm a slow knitter and I don't have a lot of time to knit. So, but it's coming along nicely. I'm just like Frankensteining it because, yeah, I couldn't find quite the right pattern that I wanted. I did buy a sock book that I'll talk to you about in a bit. All right, next up, sorry, I got a little, just want to check my alert, but nothing important. Okay, next up. All right, this one is like totally not going well. This is my daughter's elephant, Olivia the elephant, out of Knitted Wild Animal Friends. Yes, I can read. Let me show you a picture of Olivia because so far what I have to show you is pretty grim. There she is. Yes, she's very cute. I'm knitting her in a hot pink. I've knit the head in the trunk. There it is, not stuffed. And then I've started on an ear. But I pretty much did nothing on it this week. I did like 2 rounds. So that's all I have. Yeah. This is Skepshe's Stonewash. And it is for my daughter for Christmas. So I'm just kind of losing steam on knitting these animals. So I'm gonna finish the body of this, and then I'm gonna take a break, give it to her, and then ask her if she wants the clothes, because that was questionable if she wanted the clothes or not to go with the elephant. So it's a long story. I'm not going into it in case the backhoe starts up in the front yard, but basically she loves elephants, and she saw that elephant and she said it'd be really cool in hot pink, but then I don't think she really cares for the clothes. So yeah, okay. That's that. All right, next up. All right, this is a project that went backwards. I knit. This is my husband's botanic sock. There it is. If you recall, I had a bunch of this knit and attached. So this is the top of the foot, this is the heel, the leg. I had a bunch of the bottom of the foot knit last week. I was not thrilled with how it was holding as far as the stitches, so I ripped it out. And I'm gonna redo it. So this is a Stephen West pattern, Botanic. It's knit with the Zauberball, is the color, if you look there. In Tropical Fish is the color, and then the yellow is just Skepshe's Arcadia. And it's for my husband, 72 stitches. Yeah, I've only got the one, and even that, not making much progress. I just need to win the lottery, I'm telling you. Okay. I didn't like it. I was just not liking how I was picking up the stitches and attaching, you know, the top of the foot to the bottom of the foot. And they didn't seem very sturdy. So I'm redoing it to see if I could have a better seam there. And yeah, again, I need to trust in Steven's process. Trusting in the process. That's the name of this week's vlog. All right, moving right along. I have 2 new cast-ons. First up, I have cast on another dishcloth, and this one is in Dishy in this navy color. I've just really started it. That's all I have so far. This will be dishcloth number 5. So, not much to say there. Well, as long as we're on, no, I'll wait. I'll talk to you about the dyeing and how that went in a bit. Okay. Finally, one last cast on. This is my One Skein September project. This is a muscle burl hat, and so far, all I got is that little thing right there. This is also a zobber ball, and I'm knitting it for my husband, or not my husband, my brother-in-law, and it's Christmas, maybe his birthday, but most likely Christmas. And adult medium is what I'm knitting, and I'm still in the increase section. And if you want to join in One Skein in September, Karen at Recreational Knitting is hosting that, and I don't know if I'll get it done in September, Karen, but we'll see. All right, so those are all the projects that I worked on this week. Hang on one second, I gotta get some things out. Sorry for the crinkle. All right, let's talk about stash enhancements, of which I only have 2 because I need to slow down the buying. I need to stop buying unless absolutely necessary because I've run out of storage room again. All right, first up, I have my September Freckle Whimsy yarn. Hang on. This is Serendipity, and this is my 80-gram skein, 25-gram mini. There it is. Oh, sorry I didn't give you the warning, but yeah, we're into September now. It's beautiful. It is called Baguettes and Bordeaux. Beautiful, beautiful. Got that this week. I did change my subscription so that I'll get 100 grams because I realized last week that the bad thing about only getting 80 grams is that if I want to do a hat or something other than socks, then it doesn't work. So I switched it. So my next one will be 100-gram skein. Okay, gorgeous. All right, so that will go in the Lucky Dip bag. I will not be actually drawing out of the Lucky Dip bag this month, and I'll tell you why in just a few minutes. All right, next up, this one, sorry, this one is really tight, so I need to crinkle. I had to get an extra skein of yarn for my daughter-in-law's sweater, and because my local yarn store didn't have it, and so I ordered it online. It's just one more skein of that. The place I ordered it from is Simply Sock Yarn, Simply Sock Yarn, that's it. And I know that because she sent me a little project bag with it. That is a freebie that she was giving away, and so that's what I got. All right, that's it for stash enhancements. So as I mentioned last week, and I mentioned it earlier, I've pretty much run out of storage for existing storage. I mean, I could get more storage because I have a lot of room still, but I don't want to. I only want to use the storage that I originally planned for my stash. So I'm maxed out. So aside from my monthly Freckled Whimsy yarn, I'm going to try a low buy to no buy year next year. I do have the only other yarn coming in this year well, I have some Advents. I have my monthly Freckled Whimsy. And then in a couple weeks, I'm going to the Taos Wool Festival. So I might get some yarn there, but not very much. So we'll see how that goes. I am not very good at doing no-buy, so that's why I've just left it as, if I go to a show or something like that, or if I travel, I will buy it, but I'm otherwise trying not to I'm going to try not to buy yarn. So, yeah. Okay. We'll see how that works out. I'm not very good at that. All right, now I do it. Okay. At least I didn't start the backhoe. All right. Let's move on to knitty things, other knitty news. I did finish dyeing my yarn, so let me show you that. I had crinkle. I need to put that away, so I threw it in the general direction of where I want to put it. All right. I had 5 skeins of K&C cotton yarn. It's DK weight, and it was just in white. And so because I need to knit more of these dishcloths, I was like, well, I can adjust that pattern to work with DK instead of worsted, and I can knit that or dye that yarn myself so that I have the enough yarn. So I dyed, oh, I keep saying that. I dyed 2 more skeins of yarn this weekend. Here's the one, it's pink. It came out pretty good. There are some white spots, as you can see, but overall came out pretty good. That is going in my bag of yarn there. I also did a blue, which is in my bag of chaos. That's what I'm gonna call it, chaos. It's yarn that I have to knit by hand, or not knit, I need to roll it by hand. Some of it is in a knotted mess, and some of it is just halfway through being wound. So there is the blue I did. Actually, it wasn't supposed to be blue. It's supposed to be lavender or lilac. That's not lavender or lilac. That's kind of a royal blue. So, yeah. What else? Okay, I'm getting there as far as the vlog. I'm almost done. All right, let's see. Oh, I had some bad news yesterday or the other day, and some of you probably heard it too. Mandy at Mouse's Makes is not going to be shipping to the US or outside of the UK at all anymore because of the tariff situation. That really bummed me out. There's other dyers that are saying they aren't going to ship to the US either, and yeah, it just made me sad, and I was already in a bummer mood about the state of the US because now we have a Department of War. Yeah. So yeah, that's sad news that she is not gonna, and others are not gonna be shipping to the US anymore. So that bummed me out. Let me take a sip of coffee, hang on. All right, last thing, knitting wise. I did something crazy. This is not knitting wise. I don't know why I said it was knitting wise. I did something crazy. Not totally crazy, and it wasn't totally impulsive either. My daughter-in-law and I have been talking about getting a communal sewing machine. So she lives 3 houses down. She actually does sew, but she had her like great-grandmother's like old manual, the big black heavy old machine. It was terrible. And then I, even though I'm the daughter of a master seamstress, I really can't even sew on a button. Really, I'm not kidding. Well, we've been talking about getting a sewing machine, like a basic computerized sewing machine with the self-threader, just something that between the 2 houses we could use as we need it. I've needed a sewing machine a few times, even though I don't sew. Things like sewing on linings and pockets, or hemming a pair of pants, or, just stuff like that. Well, we had been talking about it. I was gonna get it for her for Christmas, but then she wanted or asked me to make her a cardigan. So then I happened to be reading a review of sewing machines, and I saw one, a Brother, and so I went and checked around, looked for prices, and I found it at a really good price with the case and everything. So I went ahead and bought it, and it'll be residing between the two houses. And I was like, well, if I'm gonna own a sewing machine or own a share in a sewing machine, I better learn how to use it. So I signed up for a sewing class. Yeah. The sewing class is just a one-day thing to familiarize yourself with sewing on a machine. You are supposed to knit a little project bag in the class. So yeah, I'll be doing that at the end of the month. No one has to worry that this is going to become a sewing channel. My goals with the sewing machine are really low. If I make some project bags, great. Really, it's just for basic little things that here and there where you need a sewing machine. So things like sewing in a zipper. Yeah. When you're like, there's some patterns that require sewing in zippers. I don't know how to do that. So yeah, that's what I got, a sewing machine. It's coming tomorrow, and I bought some thread. Yeah, you need thread. I also bought some little, they're fat quarter squares, just so I could practice. So yeah, and then I'll be taking the class in a few weeks, and then we'll see where it goes. I'm laughing because at myself, because my mother really did. She made custom wedding gowns for people who flew in from all over the world, and she never taught me how to sew. So it's pretty funny. Her sewing machine was this old Singer that was a manual sewing machine, and then she had a heavy-duty industrial one and a serger and all the things. Well, when she passed on, my sister took the sewing machine and the heavy-duty industrial one, the serger, all that we sold. So I don't have any of that stuff. I have a few of her tools though, so I will not have to buy some things because I have them. So yeah, we'll see. It'll be some fun. I'll update everyone when I sew things because it'll be comical. Y'all will get a good laugh at my lack of ability to sew. All right, let's move on because I'm hearing more noise out there, and so any minute now I expect there to be jackhammering and all that. It's amazing. This is a little life stuff, so if you're gonna leave me here, I will go ahead and tell you. So my gas line a few weeks ago broke, and because it's an old house, it's a house built in the 1940s. They have to replace the whole gas, the meter that's outside my house, and then they have to replace the line all the way out to the street. So they had a temporary fix after it broke and after the fire department came and all that, and now they've been coming like every day. I've been seeing someone out there marking where all the lines are. They bring their spray paint can, and then today I'm not kidding you, there must be 20 big trucks out there. Yeah, I didn't realize it was that involved, but hopefully it will be a quick thing and they won't be here all day so I can open my windows and all. All right, other life stuff. Not a whole lot. I have been not doing a whole lot, and I need to change that. One thing I'm trying to do is get back into my workout routine. I usually swim on Fridays. I'm having some issues with the swimming, not like suddenly I forgot how to swim. It's just not a great exercise. I shouldn't say that. It's a wonderful exercise, but it's not what my body needs right now. So I'm gonna try to switch it up. I'm gonna I love doing Pilates on the reformer on that machine. And there's a place here that I can go do that. So I'm gonna go check it out, and I may just switch my gym membership so I can use this place, and it's closer to my house. Also, I will still be able to use a pool that is closer to my house also, which those two things are big things. I do have a driver's license. I know how to drive. I just don't drive. So, and technically I don't own a car. So I would rather have something closer to my house. And I guess technically I do own a car. I just gave it away. So gave it to my daughter. So yeah, back to the working out. So I'm trying to get back into my workout routine. It's not happening today though. I woke up feeling a little bit like I had a little cold, so I was like, yeah, I'm just not doing it today. But I am gonna try to get out and go check out this Pilates place and the other pool so I can switch things up. It probably won't happen fast because I have to give the other gym a notice, the other pool that I was going to. So yeah, that's the only other life thing going on. I guess that's it. Okay, that's it. No TV and books today. Nothing I finished. I'm reading a few books, but I'm not done with them. So we'll talk about them when I finish them. And that's all. All right. Everybody have a great week. I will talk to everybody next week. And we made it through the episode with fairly minimal noise. So, and my house didn't blow up yet. So, all right. Have a good week, everybody. Bye.